Men of Reddit, what surprised you the most when you got your first girlfriend, started to get to know women?
That they can be just as as we men but hide it way better.
That they can eat. They enjoy getting head as much as any bloke.
Imho, they are hornier, especially in age 35 plus.
My first girlfriend is the polar opposite of my wife, so I guess it's that women aren't monolithic.
In my last relationship I was in a dark place and didn't want to do the naughty with her. This got so bad after a while that she would start to get loud at me for not wanting to sleep with her and her even forcing her hand on me. I tell y'all, never again.
First few girlfriends and at the same time some good female friends all opened up to me at the same time about being bit of an eye-opener to say the least.
How fun they can make the small things in life. Ever gone out with your girlfriend to get Starbucks? It is such a fun experience. Just watching her making effort to get ready for that small trip. Hearing her talk about the most random things as you are walking, and then her ordering for both you and her, customizing the drink in a way you didn't even know you like it. But when you are alone, you most probably won't even go. And even if you go, you will be like, whatever, just give me the most basic drink and I am out.
How quickly they store information to use on you in the future.
I've got to refill my Starbucks card, get up.
The high you can get from hormones was nothing I was prepared for in any way. XD.
How incredibly beautiful they can be.
I wish my husband appreciated me this much.
How dirty they can stand their own bathroom to be.
The good ones make everything fun just by being there.
How much they know. How passionate they can be about they pick up on little things, like moods, small items, details, conversations. Delightful they are when they are happy. You can't not smile. It's just pure joy watching they can hug people and instantly both. Theirs and her days just have been very fortunate to have a lot of great women go through my life. Surprisingly, including my ex and present wife.
You can get girlfriends at Starbucks now? Guess I better learn to like coffee.
Women say men leave the house with nothing, meanwhile my exes and my wife will just get in the car with me for the day, leaving their ID, keys, and insurance at home like they don't need any of them ever. Meanwhile they'll have a purse with every other situation covered but can't order a drink. Because they left their ID at home.
That having strong feelings for her does not mean she is a great fit for me.
How dirty they can stand their whole house being.
How absolutely cruel they can be, especially to each other, at the flip of a switch. I'd almost call it emotional violence. Clueless me, I saw most girls as just naturally sweet and kind. I had no idea until I started dating in high school and my first girlfriend clued me in. I didn't see that side because I was tall and fairly good looking. So I got the smiles and giggles. At least she didn't laugh at my naivete too much.
I've been in a similar situation before. It's rarely talked about, but some people seem to think men are just machines. Always willing, always ready, and when we deny we are controlling or manipulative. Yeah, no, or maybe we are just dealing with our own that we can't shut off and really aren't in the mood. Glad you found your boundaries, but taking time for yourself shouldn't be labeled as selfish. As long as you aren't denying out of some sort of control measure, it should be understandable in my opinion.
If they say no to chips, it's a trap. You're gonna lose some of yours.
They love cuddling. Not only because but they want to all of the warmth out of your body to heat up their own Arctic level temperature. If you're literally hot, they want to hug you.
That socialization was very wrong about their drive. It can wax and wane due to monthly cycles, but when it's up, it can be very fixed, wax and wane.
The hair, it's everywhere, in the drain, in the laundry, and sometimes in the food I make. It's everywhere, but you don't see it until it somehow catches your attention.
Just how much the menstrual cycle affects them.
That they aren't mythical creatures. You can treat them like normal humans. A lot of women are more crude and disgusting than men.
That's because we have them covered when we go out with doubt. Very many single women are leaving the house without their keys.
Sounds like you make people feel safe, comfortable. That's very sweet.
Periods last longer than a day.
But you sound like a very sweet man yourself. That might correlate, smiley face.
When my girlfriend complains that she's cold, then I touch her skin and it's boiling hot. I'm hot and my skin is a bit cold. Must be some physics happening.
How far back the is. Before I got intimate with women, I just kind of assume it was pretty much near where the was, but nope, it's like, way down there.
And use lots of toilet paper.
The Olay girlfriend tax.
Get a bidet. Cuts down on TP use by 75%*, not scientifically proven.
Basically, I thought all humans put on a veneer of fakeness around some others to an extent. I remember thinking, no way this girl is this nice all the time. I left because I felt I wasn't good enough for her. It felt like I was corrupting her.
I'm sure he does. Some men forget to let their wives know or are a bit stoic about it. You probably make his life a lot better. Chin up, shoulders back, and smack his next time you walk by him. He'll get a kick out of it. The hair ties would get me. In the shower, kitchen countertop, next to the TV, behind the TV, in the couch they complain that they have none.
The biggest thing is some differences in how they see the world vs the way I saw it. There is genuine concerns or fears in some everyday things, that I take for granted and have never given a second thought about.
How powerful and loud her was. It made my stream seem like a trickle.
I always tell my spouse she decorates life.
Once at a barbecue, my wife talked about getting groped that day on the subway, and one of the other women said she'd been groped the night before at a concert. One of the other husbands said something like, "Wow, I guess you guys were unlucky this week," and the women told him that it happens all the time. Every single woman there had been groped, more than once, in public places, many times. Several of us guys were disbelieving, but eventually they managed to convince later. The first time I saw, "Not all men," and the response, "Yes, all women," I remembered that. Barbecue.
Feeling hot means you're cold and the surroundings is hot to you and vice versa. My girlfriend doesn't seem to understand this, why you feel cold when having a fever.
This comment is so wholesome, absolutely made my day. Degree.
Both my relationships, she has been hornier. If it gets worse after 35, I'ma need some arthritis meds and a Hitachi.
I actually lost my virginity with an incredibly abusive GF my first year of college. Ever since, having has been a super touchy subject that I only rarely ever do with a handful of people. Had a chick tell me I was because I wouldn't sleep with her. Another chick, I had put it in but then had a panic attack and told her I needed to stop. She locked her claws in and wouldn't let me pull out. I didn't want to hurt her, but I couldn't stop panicking and it just got worse. She called a couple weeks later saying she missed her period. Because I was panicking, I didn't even pre-cum, so you can do the math at how I knew it was. This just made harder for me, seeing as it was the first chick I had with after losing my V to my abusive ex. But I digress. It's wild how mistreated you can be for not being a hungry dog as a man, but then how mistreated you'll be for being a hungry dog is much the same.
How insanely soft their skin is.
Greater than years later, the first time I saw, "Not all men," and the response, "Yes, all women." This is a poignant way to describe it, and I'm glad to have learned it. Thank you.
Oh, it makes sense. The relative room temperature to your body.
The dirty 30s is real for women.
The most surprising was how a human being can hate themselves so much.
Me too, because back in my youth, was king. Models had a big bush and you didn't know exactly where in that bush the hole was. We all just kind of assumed it was right in front, like a under all that hair.
That is beautiful.
At some point they develop some sort of calming, gentle warmness. I didn't see it until I was in a real adult relationship, but more than one partner just had an effect of almost entangling my brain just by their warm that I type that I think I just described being loved and the associated stat buff that comes with it.
They're more obsessed with and adventurous with it than our cultural portrayals seem to suggest. They shed hair like an Afghan hound, don't take "everything's fine" for an answer, be nice, but peel the onion. They hide stuff that turns their heart black, sometimes because they've been raised to keep the peace. Help them through it and the sky's the limit.